Hi, this is Neeraj Jaiswal and welcome to this episode. In this episode, you are going to learn more about the scroll bars. So let me add a scroll bar. To add a scroll bar, you need to select the parent UI component and then go and select UI and scroll bar. The scroll bar control allows the user to scroll an image or other view that is too large to see completely. You might be noting that there is a similar UI element called slider, but there's a difference about with it is it is used to select numeric values rather than scrolling, while the scroll bar is used in conjunction with text, sometimes text component and the image component to basically allow the user to scroll the image or the text. So let's go ahead and see what are the things and properties which are available with the scroll bar. So when you go to the inspector, you can see there is the first component which is available is the scroll bar. Now in the scroll bar component, the first property is interactable. Whether you want to keep this scroll bar interactable or not, whether you want to be enable it or disable it. So if you uncheck the checkbox, it will be disabled, as you can see in the game window. Now I'll just keep it as interactable for this particular demo. There's a something called transition, and for the most of your requirements, you can use the color tint. The color tint allows you to give different type of colors to the different states of the scroll bar. For example, for normal color, I'll just use blue. For highlighted color, I'll use red, and for pressed color, I'll use green. Now when I run this demo, you can see when the scroll bar is not selected, it's blue. As I hover over the scroll bar, it changes the color to red, and when I press it, it changes color to slightly grayish. I'll just change the color to something green. Now when I press it, the color changes to green. I'll just keep it like that. Now one thing is that whenever you basically are in the game mode and you are playing the this demo or your screen, what happens is whatever changes you make in the scene, that reverts back after you stop the play mode. So right now this is the changes which I have made, and it is there. The next thing is the navigation. For most part of your requirement, you can just keep it automatic, and when you are working with non-gaming apps, you don't need to much work with it, but still I'll try to discuss it later on in one of the lectures. Next is the handle rect, the transform, basically this one, and you can see the child which is there, the scroll bar, sliding area, and the handle. So that is what it is referring to here. Now the direction, you can have the four options, basically horizontal and vertical scroll bars, and then whether it can be left to right, right to left, or bottom to top and top to bottom. So these two refer for horizontal scroll bars, while these two refer for vertical scroll bars. So when you are having scroll bar, you want to have left to right, you can choose this one. If you choose right to left, the 0 starts from the right, the origin is at the right. So, and for bottom to top, it becomes vertical, and it is the scroll starts from bottom, while for top to bottom it starts from top. Now I'll just keep it as left to right. Now this is where the value you can change. This is what happens is when whatever value you give, this is mostly between 0 and 1. This becomes the starting value for the scroll bar. So if you change the value between 0 and 1, as you can see, the scroll bars moves. Now the size basically controls the size of the handle, like how much fraction of the full size of the scroll bar should the handle be. So if you keep it small, you have more chances of this getting moved. But if you keep the size as less or rather more, and then it will shift very less. So that's the purpose of the size. Now the next is number of steps. If you want to keep very smooth transitions, then you just have it as 0. But if you want to have particular number of transitions like number of steps, you can specify. So if I specify 5 steps, then there will be a 5 steps between 0 and 1. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how the scroll bar will move if you give steps value. The handle will move from 0 to 1 in 5 steps. This is how it controls. Next is the value changed. As you can see, there is a like event system which the UI is being used. Unity gives a very good event system for the interaction of the UI. So what you can do is, we can add a on value changed method, or rather like an action for the on value change. Click. Unity provides a very good event system for UI components. So whenever there is a change in value of the handle, this event is called. Now if you want, you can add your own event handler here by adding plus, clicking on plus, and it will add a row where you can configure your handler. Before doing that, I'll need to, so as it was playing, so the changes we made has gone. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select the scroll bar, I'm going to click here, and the row is added. Now the next thing which I need to do is, I need to create a empty object which will hold my script for the handler of value change. So I'll add a component, new script, now the script is added. What I need to do is, I'll open it in monodev. Now when the script is open, you can set, you will need to declare a class variable to hold the scroll bar. as you can see, it is not showing because I have not imported the UI package. Now scrollbar SB, and I'm also going to have a text. I'll show you why I have added it. Now I'll add a handler. Now whenever the value of the SB changes, I'm going to set it in the text. Now this is done and it is added to the game object. What I need to do is I need to set the object here. This game object will be set as the object. Once this is done, you can choose the function here. Okay, the problem here is that I am setting the string while it is a float. So what I need to do is I need to call the toString. Now this will work. There was a compilation error. Now it will show. Yes, here. Now this is done. Another thing which I need to do is I will need to make them public so that I will be able to set these fields. Now here, as you can see, it will get updated. I can set the scroll bar here and I'll add a text box. I'll add a text and and I will set the text field for the handler. Now when I run this application, it will set the value. I'll change the setting number of steps to unlimited, basically 0, and then if you see, the value is set. So this is basically how you use the scroll bar component in your application. So that's all in this particular episode. Keep smiling, keep rocking, and happy coding.